Hello there, folks. Welcome to the Whitfield Report, special Sunday evening edition. I am your host, Sam Whitfield. Off camera tonight, you're just seeing my logo, and that's because one of the lights, the overhead light that I usually have, is burnt out. So, if I were to turn on my camera, all you could see would be like the shadow of my face because I do not have good lighting in here right now. But anyway, welcome to the first episode of the Gamma Hugbox, which I'm sure many of you are wondering what the hell a Gamma Hugbox is. Well, I have no idea what it is myself, but I find it funny.
Oh,
And the lore.
well then let me take a good evening, chat, and Sammy, by the way. Let me take the lead on this one. I'm going to suggest that it means that it's like the gamma equivalent of a room whack, but with vaginas. You know what I mean? Because like a box that hugs a wiener would be a hug box. You know, a box is not an uncommon term. I don't know. That doesn't land. Damn it. We need you need a soundboard for like laughter when I make stupid jokes, Sammy.
I hadn't even thought of that. We are getting a soundboard because I found one that I can actually afford. Some of the soundboard
Sammy, get the
softwares.
soundboard.
Some of the soundboard softwares out there, it's crazy, man. For just like a basic soundboard app for my computer, it costs like $300 for one of them. I'm not paying $300 for a soundboard, but anyway, you're not that far off. So one of Owen's Bears commented on one of the videos that you and I did, and we weren't even talking at Owen, but the typical bear response was, "You guys are such, gammas. You guys sound gay. Why don't you two go into your fucking hug box or whatever?"
Oh,
So,
listen, my name is Apex Gamma, bro. Like that's the whole point. Of course they're gonna go there. That's why I leaned into it early. I saw where this was going.
what they were trying to do, they were trying to do like a really bad, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Goodfellas, but there's a scene in Goodfellas where two of the mobsters are smack talking each other, and one of them says, "Go get your fucking shine box," which is like a shoe shining thing, and
Sure.
yeah, and so this bear was trying to act like a mafioso or something, like, go get in your hug box, but it didn't quite translate that well. So now, I declare the term Gamma Hug Box for the Gamma Secret Kings. So, we can.
Oh well, that's good.
We kind of made Gamma cool. So, just in general.
Wait. Time out, Sammy. I'm sorry. You spread the message. But yeah, no, for sure. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say we made Gamma cool. Gamma's cool. Gamma's been fucking cool since it was owned by our side, which would be the Alan Powells, the Future Nobodies when he was still doing it.
Yeah,
then, of course, the Gamma Secret King subreddit, which I've still yet to frequent, but they do work over there. So
Reddit.
Shout out to them.
Reddit is a super fun place. So, just in general. So, I actually use Reddit more than I use Facebook now. But anyway, there's not a lot I don't actually have like anything Owen related to talk about, but I just thought that, the name was kind of funny. But what's been going on in your world and everything since we last talked 18 hours ago.
Well, like not yeah, barely. Well, I went up to the dreaded north and I did some necessary shopping. And I went to Guitar Center and I fucking hate Guitar Center. Mostly because of their customer service. Every one I've ever been in the multiple states I've been in them, the people that work there fucking suck. They may know what they're talking about, but they're shitty, like customer service people.
Thank you.
But anyway, so I went in there to check out. I really currently at this point in my, I have a. I don't know if this is going to make sense to you or anyone in the chat or anyone listening. Hopefully it will. But I have a half stack, a line 6 half stack, which is four 12-inch speakers in a cabinet on wheels, and then the head to that
Sure.
cabinet, which is fucking huge. I mean, it's huge, and honestly, I don't even really like it. I've never really liked it, but it was necessary for playing, barn shows and shit to be really loud. But anyway, like now that I'm minimizing and downsizing and moving shit around, I just need something small. I literally I have 4 amps, and I don't like any of them. They're all really fucking old. Half of them have been a quarter or more submerged in water when my basement flooded the multiple times it did over the last couple of years.
Oof.
So I'm trying to minimize, but being a musician in any capacity is fucking expensive, man.
Oh yeah.
So I've been really shopping actually for the last like 2 months or so on something small that is going to make the sound that I like or a sound that I can work with. And I found it is called it's from Boss. Everybody knows Boss, but it's a Boss Katana, which is one of the highest rated, like anything I've ever seen. Everywhere I look, it's like hundreds of reviews and 4.7, 4.8 stars.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't buy it from Guitar Center, but I went there to test the amps that they had there, and that was one of them, and I really liked it. And so I bought it off of Zounds.com, which is any musician that's never heard of that site should go there because you can order things on a payment plan and get it shipped free, 1 day shipping, and there's no credit check involved unless you do like there's several options to it, and depending on how expensive, of course, if you're buying a $12,000 piece of equipment, you're probably going to need a credit check. But an $800 guitar, I didn't need a credit check for. I set up fucking payments for what was it, $80, 70 or $80 a month for a few months, and I got a new guitar in a day and a half. So I just ordered myself a new amp. That is the long way of saying I spent the day shopping for a new amp and finally pulling the trigger on one. Oh shit, I forgot to mute my notification. Sorry guys.
Oh, no
Um,
problem. I'm glad you brought up Guitar Center because, funny enough, I've actually gone to Guitar Center a few times and had similar um, shitty customer experience with them. Now, I don't play guitar. I kind of want to pick up the bass now that I have some free time with quarantine, but that's another topic. But anyway, I've gone to Guitar Center because because on the website they sell of like podcasting equipment and mixers and microphones and
yep,
stuff
yep.
and stuff for podcasting. So I went over there to try and find some podcasting stuff. So I go in and I'm like, hey, do you know where stuff for like podcasting is? Sir, we don't sell podcasting stuff here. And like not even like, oh, this guy wasn't even like, oh, we don't sell pod. He was like really, he was like mad about it. And I'm like, well,
Well, I mean, yeah, that's shitty customer service, and that's I mean, that's exactly the version. It's funny that you're like 1,200 miles away from me or so, or at least 1,000 or more. Uh, and the customer service is still, it's like on the same, it must be like part of their training to like, to treat customers like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about in
Yeah.
any capacity. But I don't want to shit on every Guitar Center employee, because even today, of the five that were walking around, two were cool as fuck, and they were really helpful, and they were, um, not super invasive, not hovering over me trying to sell me shit, but also not being a dickhead. And anytime they walk by, like, you good, man? Yeah, like a good fucking, like a good server at a restaurant. There's not many people in those stores fucking ever. And if there are, they can be forgiven for running around like chickens with their heads cut off. But I mean, other than like Black Friday or some crazy shit, I've never seen more than like 10 people in a Guitar Center, at least locally, where any the places I've been, which admittedly are smaller towns. But the point though is like the the other three people that were working, um, not only would are like when I would ask, well, for starters, I asked if I could get a cable so that I could test the amps out, and the dude literally wouldn't give me a cable because I wouldn't pull my mask up over my nose, and I had my mask like up to the. I mean, like it was. I, I I I couldn't have had it much more covered, but because it was not covered enough, this, again, I understand being sort of in retail myself, or at least dealing with customers and having, orders from on high to at least tell people they have to do a thing. I've
Yeah.
never once denied service to someone because they were like, "No, I'm not doing that." I'm like, "Okay, well, it's just a suggestion. We've got free masks, but I can't make you. So what do you need?"
I
Kind of thing.
I
You
w-
know?
I was I was asked to leave somewhere recently because I was told that I wasn't wearing like the right kind of mask, which was BS. I wanted to go buy some beer at another convenience store because the one by my house was closed. So I went to another one, and I pull up my I'm wearing my neck gaiter, my American flag neck gaiter, which I've been using, as my mask. And the guy there is, I mean, I hate the stereotype, but I don't know why so many Indians run like mini Mars and whatnot, but they do. And one of them was like, "Sir, you're not wearing." I can't do an accent, and I'm not gonna try. But he was basically like, "Sir, you're not wearing proper mask," and I'm like, No, I'm still wearing a mask. Like it's not an N95 or whatever, but I'm still wearing facial." And I'm like, "Look, I just want to get like a pack of cores and get out of here." And he was like, "No, I don't." So basically, that was frustrating. But again, this goes back to my whole thing of the mask, goody goody people. I just
Oh shit.
This is
Okay.
disturbing. So the
No. Yeah. No. For sure. And again, like I try to play devil's advocate in more ways than I should, both in life and on the internet. And in Guitar Center's defense, maybe, perhaps they do like their company is mostly people coming in and touching shit like extensively, whether it's drums and drumsticks and cymbals and keyboards and microphones and headphones. They're coming into like and guitars and bass and shit, especially. You're putting your hands all over that fucking thing. Now, a mask is not going to do shit for what your hands are touching, obviously, but because of the hysteria and the just the placation by just the general masses for okay, let's fine masks. That's good. We'll do that. That's going to help, even though, whatever, we've been over that extensively, but a lot of them are just trying to do their jobs. Most of them are like me and at least partially retarded, maybe likely more so in a lot of these cases. But, they not only fear for losing their job, they fear for their actual safety because, again, they're retarded and they don't, they never paid any attention to any other kind of outbreak, any other flu season or any other kind of the fucking swine flu. I remember those things, but I don't remember any fucking thing getting locked down. So, but anyway, the point is I have some empathy for some of these people, but it also acts as like kind of like a check, an early check for some people that you may not figure out they're shitty, sociopathic fucking lunatics until way down the line. They may, you know what I mean? This whole, it's like stirring the pot and bringing the shit to the top, so you can go, oh, okay, okay, good, yeah, I will disassociate from you and your ilk.
I don't
Okay.
I don't mind that. I don't mind like the people who are like, look, man, I know you don't like it, but you have to wear a mask. Like if they're at least empathetic to the fact that everyone hates wearing masks. Like that's one thing. I get it.
Well,
But if
but dude,
but if they're being
this is, I mean,
if they're
oh,
being
go ahead. I'm sorry.
asshole, but if they're being assholes about it, like a lot of people are, that's when that's when I tend to lose my temper. So.
Well, and the thing is, man, like I do it out of, they can't make you. I've not seen a retail store that says that they will not serve you uh, if you don't wear a mask. There's a lot of video of other shoppers in places, which honestly, I would much rather have the general public being the ones shaming you for not wearing a mask than you being forced to wear, like there being some kind of mandate by the government for you to have to, which again, there's not. At least in my state, it's funny because the governor made this big show that, yep, we're going mask. You have to wear a mask in public. Bars are going to open, but you got to wear a mask, even though you're sitting there drinking beer and smoking cigarettes and, socializing, fucking, et cetera, et cetera. But, oh man.
What's weird as fuck is, so I actually did go to another liquor store because the one by my house was closed, and then I went to the other one, and like I didn't get served there, so I went back to the one I usually go, and they had opened. I guess they were on break or something, or had been. But anyway, so I go to my normal one, and guy there is talking like how nervous he is about coronavirus, right? And then he says, "Oh, and can I get a pack of cigarettes too?" And I'm just like, how are people deathly afraid of coronavirus, but they're okay with like, chain smoking
Wow.
like
Yeah.
big. It's weird.
Well,
So
no, listen, you know what? Scorpio in the chat brings up a good point. He says, start talking about hug boxes again. And it's, effectively, the mask enthusiast, those people that are overly, the people most of us, I'm sure, have seen by this point, driving alone in their car with a fucking mask on their face. And those people that will look at Sammy in his, and say, "How dare you not wear your mask?" I mean, and
how
I don't mean any offense by this, but of
how
all
dare
people,
you?
that's no. My point though is like people have medical issues, and that's technically all you have to say. Like, I can't wear one for medical reasons, and you're fucking scooting around in your goddamn death machine, and they. I mean, I respect your restraint, man. Like, because I would bust those. I would at least bust the flamethrowers out on
I
some of these people.
I almost did.
But
I almost did a few months ago at a McDonald's because my mask hadn't come
you
in
filled
from
at the McDonald's, yeah. Go ahead.
my mask hadn't come in from Amazon, and this lady who also wasn't wearing a mask was like, Why aren't any millennials wearing a mask? You must want old people to die." And I told her, and I found, and only later I found out that I could have actually gotten in trouble for this. I was like, I kept telling her, I'm like, 6 feet, lady. I might cough on you. So, and then,
So, what what is a hug box to you, Sammy? Like, how do you define, like, without being gamma specific,
I mean,
apex gamma level specific? Like, how do you define a hug box? Because go. I mean, go ahead.
well,
I'll leave.
how do you define a room lack without, being Owen specific? So,
Well, no. I mean, hug boxes exist outside of gammas. I mean, that term especially has existed for about as long as I've been on the internet. Um, the the idea of uh, creators or communities filtering out the naysayers in any and all aspect. Oh, excuse me, guys. In any and all form, so as to keep their community and or their leader, in Owen's case, um, as unfazed by criticism as possible, no matter that criticism, because criticism exists in forms that are entirely untrue, but still believable somehow, especially on the internet. But they're, that's what's used to prop up every hug box I've ever seen against the actual evidence, and I've never seen one last. I'll say that much. Yeah, even people that stand against them inevitably create one. That's
yeah.
why I think the term suicide by internet is should be a more prevalent term at this point in time.
Uh,
Maybe it will be, but
uh,
like people that dedicate their uh you know like the Ethan Ralphs of the world, that there's honest people that do it too. I mean, but you could also argue that they create hug boxes, but they do it successfully. Who the fuck cares? But you know what I mean? Like, what's a hug box? I've never banned anyone from your chat, even before I ever, fucking however long ago that was now, when I was just in your chat and you first gave me a wrench. I never banned a single commenter from my YouTube chat, my primary channel, before it got fucking Thanos.
yeah, no,
So
I don't,
I invite the criticism, which is why I lower the bar all the way to the bottom, so that the criticism lobbied at me, whatever it may be. Like, first of all, you likely can't think worse of me than I do, at least that I have at times. But I don't claim to be smart. I don't claim to be the smartest. I don't claim to be the best anything, uh, other than maybe Gamma. But I'm not even that's in contention. Scorpio would probably fight me
I
with
don't,
his.
the only time, the only time I've banned people is, if people are like personally har- harassing, people in the chat, and if it's getting like, really, uh, nasty. But like other than that, people are just making like jokes or, just messing around. I don't, uh, you know, I'm pretty lenient. So, I mean, people are pissed off that Alan Powell is a mod in in my chat, which I think is hilarious because Alan is he's not going to bother you if you don't bother him. I mean, he is the greatest troll to ever live, but you know, if you
Holy
don't,
shit. Taco Mahooligan, my good friend. Which is funny. We've got a taco and a nacho in the chat. We're halfway to a fucking Mexican buffet. But he said that he was at where did it go? He went to a water park, and at least two idiots were wearing masks in the wave pool, surrounded by hundreds of people. You know, you're not supposed to get those wet, right? Like, that's just. I
people
can't even with
are,
that.
yeah, people are retarded. Well,
Very.
it's the same thing of like, you know, people who wear masks in their car when they're all by themselves. It's like
Exactly.
you're not doing anything. So
I mean, like, who are you protecting? Yourself? Your steering wheel? Like, dude. It's mind numbing, dude. And it's not going away. We all have to, those of us that have a glimpse through this fucking veil. Oh, God, it's so hard, though, because the people that don't, we're the indoctrinated ones, you know? We're the sociopaths because we don't care about other people. You can't, it's just like the same issue I run into with, well, why don't you fucking think that Donald Trump is the worst human being that's ever born, much less the worst president the world has ever seen in any country ever. I'm like, well, because of all of these reasons. Well, that you're just fucking brainwashed. You don't even get it. You're one of these days. You'll say I'm right. Mark my words. You're going to say I'm right one of these days. Like, but what about all the things I just said? You're not answering, like the policy change. Oh God, dude, it's exhausting. It's fucking exhausting. I
I
mean, I try really hard not to go there with people, but it seems all anybody wants to fucking talk about. I met a coworker's birthday party actually last night. I didn't bring this up on the show, but before the show, I was at a coworker's birthday party, and he is half black and half Mexican, and he has his sister, like his half sister, is like she's a black woman. She's full black. She's real sweet, but in the midst of drinking beers and smoking weed and hanging out around a fire, of course, fucking Donald Trump came up, and she wasn't like, you know, the shit you see on TV, but she didn't get it. She's like, I don't understand why people support this man, and I don't, he's a liar, and I mean all the fucking bullet points, and I respectfully tried my best, which I don't do a good job of, which I need to just quit trying, or better educate myself and quit fucking smoking weed and drinking beer all the time. But I tried to like explain some things to her, like the First Step Act and the School Choice Act, and the various other things, like the difference between what he says in public and what he does on paper. And I mean, she had some good arguments that, like, it's hard to discount, some of the things that the man has said and done, especially lately, are a little overly inflammatory towards the violence and shit. Like, he's like really leaning into what he thinks are, it's just playing into some of these negative, what do you call it? Like perspectives people have of him based on the mostly fake news, almost entirely rather fake news about the dude and his support base. Like we're all just violent, extreme right-wing extremists with our guns waiting for the Civil War to break out so we can kill half the country type
yeah,
thing. I've heard people actually say that.
and I hate the fact too that Antifa's been burning the country down for 100+ days now, right? And I bring that up to some of my liberal neighbors and friends, and they're always like, "Oh, but Charlottesville," and I'm like, "Okay, what about Charlottesville?" And they're like, "Well, Nazis and Heather Heyer was killed there," and I'm like, "Okay, first off, no one no one here condones what happened at Charlottesville, but second off, that was 3 years ago, and there were 100 neo Nazis there, if that, and it was one incident that got stoked because the media was there and the neo Nazis were getting the attention that they wanted, and I mean, it is sad that that some chick got run over, but at the same time, like it's only just one person compared to, oh, I don't know, the hundreds that Antifa are, killing. Like, if they want to go down the route of which has more violence statistically, like Antifa is way worse. So
Well, let's not even. I mean, you're right to say that. I'm not going to say that you're wrong, but to broaden the view a little bit, like it's the whole demonizing of authority in general. Like, I mean, even these kowtowing fucking mayors in Portland who did did absolutely nothing to cull any violence or to back their law enforcement got burned out of their own fucking apartment, and the shit's being enabled. And it's not. I don't even think that a lot of these people out there identify with anything other than themselves and their own beliefs. Again, this is something I've experienced personally with my friend who really, honestly, guys, Sam, freaks me out sometimes when I talk to him and the things that comes out of his mouth. And as well as I know him, like, I don't know, I don't like have any necessary like predictions for what he will do, but he has a newborn, beautiful baby girl, and he's been married barely 2 years to basically his dream girl. And he, as I mentioned, is a rich white liberal, and again grew up in a conservative house his whole life. So he's, as kids tend to do in a lot of cases, they push back against their surroundings that they grew up in. I mean, I did. Country fucking music, I hate it because it was forced down my throat my whole life. Well, okay, country music made after like 1990 or so, with few exceptions. Anything most before that's okay. But I digress. And since I forgot where I was going, dude. That happens too quickly. I think I might have a brain tumor or something, Sam.
no, I
It's a
think
joke.
I think that you and I just like to ramble, and
Smoke
uh,
too much weed. That definitely is a thing.
yeah, I don't, I don't smoke enough weed, so uh, to,
Well, okay.
I'll tell you what, man. I think I need to start smoking weed because like one of my friends today, like I called him and I'm like, and I told him, I'm like, dude, the whole country's like burning down. Everything's like, I was kind of like in an Alex Jones, like everything is fucked mode, and he's like, dude, you sound really like fucking depressed. You need to smoke a joint and lighten up. So, and I'm like, nah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I think there's some merit to that, and I mean, listen, I'm not knocking weed in any way, shape, or form. It's it's a it's a priorities issue for me, basically. At this point, I just depression manifests in all kinds of ways, and self self indulgence tends to be mine, and self deprecation also at the same time. Oddly, but yeah. So there's no like, listen, I don't ever intend to not smoke weed at at night to before I watch a show or fucking play guitar or hang out with the old lady or eat a delicious meal. I mean, hell, I could do it every day. I'm fine with that. I think there's a lot of people that do smoke it every day that are successful business owners and entrepreneurs and managers of thousands of employees. You know what I mean? It's a priorities issue. You have to, it can't be. You can't use it like anything else. You can't use it as like a crutch for reality, which is kind of what I'm doing, along with you know uh, the internet to a certain degree at this point right now for me.
Oh dear God!
The internet. What? What's that?
Oh dear God! Jolly rides! I can't tell you how happy I am to be living right now. So
How happy is to what?
to be living in this time right now. So well, and Jolly's the only one I know who would be happy to be living
Of
amongst.
course, yeah. Of course, Jolly's. Yeah, Jolly's fucking ready. Jolly's exactly who my friend is concerned about. The only problem is he thinks that Jolly is like every third person in this country with white skin. And to be fair, maybe they are, and the Jolly's just the ahead of the curve as far as being open about it. But I don't think so.
I'm kind of, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say I'm there, but well, talk to me in 3 years and see how I'm feeling. I might have the same smoker's voice as Jolly by then, so. But
Sorry, I was muted. I was just reading the chat. Jolly, I'm loving every second of this, Sammy. Who's drinking tap? Nobody's drinking tap water.
yeah,
I
I'm.
did. I was taking a piss and I unmuted a little too quick. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, no, that I hate to say it, but I was actually on a Zoom conference for one of my classes, and I thought I put the app on mute, and I, you know, someone was like, "Is someone filling tap water?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So yeah, so that happened, but
Whoops.
I mean,
Oops.
it could have been worse. So
Well, yeah. Could always be worse, Sammy. So, how was your day? You asked me mine. How about you? What'd you do today?
I basically did nothing today. I was gonna watch some football, but then I decided not to because I'm not really feeling it. Um, uh, I finally got around to you thought you were pestering me for to watch Mindhunter for a long time. My neighbor my neighbor who I love has been trying to get me to watch the old Miami Vice for as long as I've lived here. So I finally watched the pilot episode of Miami Vice. Not bad. So um and Mersh looks nothing like Don Johnson. So despite what he may think. So but yeah, now I'm
So,
talking and now I'm talking to you. So
yeah, I wrote a pretty dope riff just now while I was muted.
nice.
I'm happy to be playing. I can't wait for that amp because it sounds really good. Uh, I didn't know Boss never really made amps, but this thing's pretty sweet, man. Like it's a little more advanced than I'm used to, but it's pretty simple at the same time, generally speaking. But It's got direct input, so I can plug. I mean, it's got a USB, so I can plug straight from the amp to a computer, and it comes with some software that you can like further control the amp with. And I also have a. Well, this one isn't officially ordered yet, but I have the recording hardware that comes with all the software, and it's like a little kit. I got a mic coming, and an actual mic, which I don't really need other than for talking shit on the internet. But the recording software was what I needed. So I really like making music. It's the one thing that I don't do enough of it because it actually makes me happy. And I'm, like I mentioned, kind of self-deprecating, but
That
self-flug.
that's kind of me with I like well doing this is what makes me happy, except for the content that we cover with current events and whatnot. But I also like writing. Uh, I've written a few. I've actually written a few fiction uh, stories and self-published them on Amazon, and I've thought about getting back into that, but like everything that I once had as like a plot has actually become reality. Interestingly enough, so
Sorry, sorry, I thought I was muted, man.
oh, not at all.
Um, yeah, it's a fucking weird. It is such a weird time we live in, man. I mean, it's exciting in more ways that I can like quantify on most days. Like, but yeah, I feel like the old the famous. I think it was said by several people, but most recently, I think it was Eric Holder that I recall saying that or no, it was Rahm Emanuel maybe that no good let no good tragedy go to waste kind of thing. Or like
Oh yeah.
through through great chaos and destruction, likely will come some good eventually, hopefully, unless prophecy is real and we're headed for the fucking rapture. Who the fuck knows, man? I sure don't.
I mean, I'm still somewhat optimistic that things will
Me too.
maybe not get back to normal, but
I'm listening. Sorry. Just trying to avoid the dead air.
you know, I I mean, it's just I don't I really can't make any predictions anymore, man, about what's gonna happen. So, and
Yeah.
that's just a
Well, I mean,
fact.
you can make predictions, but the problem is like putting any weight into them. I find myself making all kinds of predictions. Um, well, I have found myself making it, but more recently, I it's weird because like it's the problem that I have with my leftist buddy. Like I feel like we're on the same page. We have the same. Ultimately, we agree on 99% of issues, but he is in. I guess you could call it a hug box of some sort that he of his own making, like his own hug. He refuses to move outside of it, and see, I feel like I feel like I just have a broader shot of the target of this mess that we're all in together, both on this planet and in this country. Um, I mean, interpret that how you will, but like I guess I mean, admittedly, both between our conversations, that I have spent way more time on the internet, just traversing it. And he listen, his favorite thing to do is to throw Owen Benjamin in my face because he was one of my close friends and or family members that was subscribed to that fucking YouTube channel back in like 2011 when I first started it and was uploading uh video game shit, and I was doing Rainbow Six Siege stuff and getting some views. And that was back when you could make money on YouTube without reaching certain thresholds. I think I made a total of $11 off of YouTube from like 50,000 views or some shit. Anyway, he was he was subscribed back then. So when I first started uploading after not uploading anything for years, I started uploading Owen Benjamin clips just randomly, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" So he kind of paid attention to the saga, and now he has this perspective, this perception, and no matter how I try to explain it to him, that I fell victim to a cult leader, that like I was duped by a cult leader, and I fell for it, and he's like, you're the idiot that falls for on these fucking idiot e-celebs like Owen Benjamin. And I mean, the real frustrating part is there's a slight degree of truth to that. But what he doesn't understand, and what I can't make him understand because now all the clips are gone, is when I found Owen, he was not the person that I started clipping. I started clipping him because he was not the person that I found. And I think certainly everyone in the DZ can agree, and anyone that's been around long enough will know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
But it's just this thing where, like, I try to show him, I'll send him articles, I'll send him videos, and he fucking hates YouTube. Everyone that makes YouTube videos is some degenerate living in their mom's basement. I mean, that's pretty much what it boils down to. I've kind of broken that. I've broken that down a little bit, through just sheer just pressure. Just like, bro, you can't talk to me like you respect me and then not take anything I say seriously. Like, I understand your bias, but if you're literally not even going to look at what I'm trying to show you and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, then who's really at fault here? So
Johnny Arcade says Apex was in a cult, to which I have to say, shut up, Johnny. You and I were in the same exact cult. We just got out
we still are
earlier. So
that cult. Oh, my bad.
Well, now we've made our own cult. So
yeah, I was gonna say ours has a cool logo at least. We don't identify as hairy homosexual men.
Yeah, but our cult is also led by a Mexican journalist. So,
I was talking about the DZ.
Although I don't even know if the DZ too, but I'm not even sure if East Scorpio is in here anymore. So I think he lost interest as soon as we stopped mentioning hug boxes. So, but
boo. Speaking of the chat, I'm a little disappointed, but I guess it might make sense that there's not been a single shovel point comment yet this evening. So I'm looking for a shovel point. If anyone has information on a shovel point, I will pay handsomely for it. I'm looking for this person. I have words that need to be spoken. That's all I'm going to say. Let's move on. Let's talk about hug boxes now that Scorpio's gone.
yeah, again, that's just a weird term. So, but I like it. It's a funny title. So,
it is a funny title. Just call it we'll just change the Whitfield report to the Whitfield Gamma Hugbox.
Let's see. Oh, Alan Howell just made a culture reference that I love. What the fuck is a shovel flange? So, Johnny says I'd rather talk about tug boxes or slug boxes.
Uh-oh.
Well, Johnny, I'm not the gay one. You're the gay one. So, uh,
Yeah,
but,
they're all the gay ones.
um, I will say I don't want to bring up Owen, but I will say that at this point Owen has become a little soap opera for me, thanks to Milker Nation and
Yeah,
the the James True saga. So like he's actually the way Milker Nation has done that, he's actually turned it into kind of like a TV show now. So um
I think um, I think Milker is perhaps, and maybe I'm speaking at a line here, but I think Milker is, while being more Owen focused for now, I think we're watching like the birthing of the next porcelain on YouTube, like porcelain level. You
I
know what I
hope
mean?
so.
I sure hope so too, because he feels like his work feels like a. I mean, it has journalistic like it feels like there's more integrity to it. Not to mention the production value compared to fucking. I mean, anything most people did back in my day. You know, me, Johnny, Alan for sure did better than anybody else back then. But
Oh my
the
God.
point,
Al,
yeah, Alan, yeah, Alan was the king.
Allen's videos though lately have had me, and you said to me the other day, you said, Sam, I'm not sure I've ever seen you laugh this hard on stream before when we were playing a couple of Allen's videos. So that man
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure.
that man
Alan, yes, that. Listen, that I don't know if it was the being underneath the fence post or the subsequent resurrection. I mean, the dude was funny beforehand, but he's like on a new level. The ghost of Alan Powell lives.
the subsequent the resurrection video that was around the time you came into the scene and
Oh, I'd been around before that. That was just the first time you noticed me. I'll never forget. I
yeah.
posted that video. I posted that video, and like a day or two later, I got the notification of your subscription to my channel, and I popped into your stream, and you you were actually watching that video, and that was that was the first time I saw you laugh on stream. Well, I'd seen you laugh, but we were like, oh shit, it was yeah. So that's how I
Oh
snuck in on you,
yeah,
Sam.
you 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 snuck in my aperture, so or not. So
Yeah, no, I'm here, man. I was just hitting the vape. I don't want to fucking, wind tunnel the chat. I will meddle it though.
oh yeah, you don't want to, unlike some people we know. So
Yeah, yeah, man. So some good news and a total change of topic. I know I discussed this briefly pre-stream, but it's been confirmed now that the two officers in Los Angeles that were ambushed by that fucking thug and shot point blank are now out of surgery and expected to, survive, which in a bleak landscape is a weird thing to be happy about, but it is actual good news. You know what I mean, right?
mm-hmm. No, that was the first bit of good news I heard today actually. So amongst
Well, so yeah, amongst the sea of bad news, right? But I just wonder. I haven't seen any news of because there just the other day there were people outside that hospital trying to fucking get in and screaming shit like you're all gonna die one at a time. whatever. I don't know what the fuck the story behind all that was. But I mean, I actually saw a post on Twitter. It's like someone asked, "What's going to make them more mad?" It's like Trump's reelection, Rittenhouse acquittal, the Floyd officer's acquittal, or all of the above. And I mean, the obvious answer is all of the above. And like, seems to be a real chance that all of those might happen. At least it looks that way so far. I feel sure there's a good chance that they won't. At least not all of them. But yeah, what would your answer to that be? What would make the those that hate us more angry?
Well,
Obviously, all of the above.
I mean, all of the above plus our mere existence, I think, pisses them off now. I mean,
Well, yeah,
Antifa's out there now bragging about, oh, we got. I mean, Johnny has the fucking video. Oh, we got a Trumper. A few weeks ago in Portland, like they're bragging about it. I just can't wait till Trump gets reelected and then starts arresting people. Um,
well, now did you? This is something else I mentioned pre-stream, but you didn't respond to it. I can't remember the fucking guy's name, but there's some professor that for the last 9 presidential elections has been like a lone voice in the wilderness that has successfully predicted the president-elect for since like 19 fucking I don't even remember the year, but it's 9 presidents, including Donald Trump, and he's a Democrat. He's been a Democrat his whole life, but he has these 13 keys to the White House thing, and I watched this fucking overly long and mostly boring podcast just because it was interesting, but it's still boring. And he has like these bullet points that make sense. The whole thing started by this political professor and a Russian earthquake. He's like the head of some earthquake, seismic something or other in Russia, and just like top of the, I don't know. They based their political scheme on, or their measurements somehow around earthquakes, and I mean it makes sense on its face, but I haven't read his book. I haven't really dug into it, but the podcast that I listened to was like, well, I mean, the first thing I thought is how many, I don't know, I'm not sure how many people exist on the planet that have never been wrong about a certain topic at one point. You know what I mean? Especially people that stake their like reputations, public reputations, and their careers on it. You know what I mean? People end up being wrong. I'm sure they exist, or those that don't ever or aren't ever wrong in the public sphere exist, is what I meant to say. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know that anybody's ever been in a climate. I mean, the old timers older than this professor that I meet in person that look me dead in the face, wide eyed, like, I fucking feel bad for you, man, because I'm going to die soon. But I've never seen anything like this. World War II, fucking Vietnam, and civil rights movement, etc. You know what I mean? Etc. There's the list goes on. All the crazy shit that's gone on, especially in this country, but in the world at large. In some of these 80-year-olds' lifetimes, 80-plus-year-olds, 70, 80-year-olds, so it's wild, dude. I don't know. It's
yeah,
hard to quantify, being we've grown up in the world we've grown up in, and now all of a sudden it's worse than anybody's ever seen. So like the whole world's fucking pampered. Most of the world is fucking pampered in more ways than anyone's ready to fucking cope with. And anybody that has any self-respect and ability to reflect on themselves, it's figuring a lot of this shit out quickly, and admittedly, probably too late. But um, I don't
Hope,
know, dude. I really don't know. I don't know what the fucking future holds, but I
hope,
know that it's gonna be a wild ride.
hopefully better late than never. I mean, that's
Well, yeah,
kind
that's always yeah,
that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So
yeah. No, I'm with you there. Sammy, do you play video games at all?
yeah,
We never spoke about video games.
yeah, no, I do play video games. I don't actually have a current gen console, but I
So you
still
play PC? Your Master Race? Of course you are.
no. I actually have an old PS3. I never got.
Oh,
I mean, technically, I do play games on my iPad Pro, but I've been told that mobile gamers aren't actual gamers. So,
that's true. That's actual science, Sam.
yeah,
But
I know. I know. I've been shamed about that. So,
well, I won't shame you, but I will just state my personal belief to
oh,
you.
yeah.
Everyone can be saved, Sam. Better late than never, right?
Although they have some pretty good GTA ports for some of those. So I've been playing GTA Vice City a lot. So which
Now,
is
at this point, there definitely are some good mobile games, but it's just so flooded with, the predatory bullshit. Uh, you know,
oh yeah, I
play
don't
this game for play this game for free fee to pay, as Jim's fat fuck Sterling would say. Yeah, instead of free to play, it's fee to pay. So you
yeah,
pay a
yeah.
fee. Yeah, right.
Well
So
well
there's a
the
lot of those, but there's some gems out there for sure, and there's some that are worth the money. Like you pay the fucking $5 or 7 bucks or whatever for a game, and then you get no ads and everything's unlockable at a reasonable rate. Um,
yeah,
it may
the
not be the best looking game or a best operating game, but fuck, it's on your phone and you can do it at the dentist office or at the airport or wherever the fuck you are.
yeah, I've been playing now as far as like console games I'm a big fan of the Batman Arkham games. So those are fun as those are fun as fuck. So but the HGWs want to rewrite those too, because they don't like that Bruce Wayne is a straight white male. So, but you know,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Apex, you can say that word. So,
oh no, it's all right. I'm not gonna damage the I'm not gonna damage your channel.
I mean, it's okay.
I'm not gonna do that.
I
If
say
I have,
nimmer all the time. So,
oh, oh, well, I was gonna go with necrophilia.
so, uh, also. Also, I see our friend Matt on Twitter. Why are you leaving the stream, Matt? I was just ready to start talking about titties. So no, I'm kidding.
Necrosis,
So,
necropolis. It's a good Black Dahlia murder song.
but
Necrop. Yo, yep.
hey,
What else?
hey,
What else?
oh, static void is here now, but
Hi, Static Void.
that's not shovel point. So
Static Void, bring me Shovel Point. I don't. I'm assuming
they might
you and
not
your
they might not know each
void.
other.
Well,
So.
listen, that is a static void. I have no idea what it's capable of. I'm just throwing it into that void and hoping the static does something with it.
A storm of wrenches. What's
Didn't get a
going to say?
microwave until he was 13.
Says Oregon Trail on my Apple IIe. Yeah, oh yeah, that's good. So, well, I mean, so Static Void doesn't know what a shovel point is, but he does like titties. So that's good enough for me. So,
Right. Of course. Of course. Oh man. So I'm really excited, Sam, because as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I just purchased a new amp that will be here in one day. I already got the like shipping info and stuff, so I'm very excited about that.
mm-hmm.
Downsize, minimize, and have a nice. I haven't had a new amp, like a new amp, in 12 years, 10 years, 8 years or so, maybe. Either way, even like around that time, the new amps that I got were used or like bought and used for a little bit, and then I bought at a discounted price from somebody or something like, you know what I mean? I haven't bought a brand new piece of equipment since I bought my guitar, and before that, it had been like 15 years since I bought a brand new piece of music equipment. So I'm very excited about that. I am very excited. Wrenches, storm of wrenches. Got words.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you still hear me, Sam? Am I still here? Okay, okay.
no, I'm excited for you. So, let's see. My Johnny says my full stack is taller than I am. Well, I mean, Johnny is kind of a short
I was
dude.
literally
So, or I don't know. You might
my half stack is dick sucking level. So I got
that is gay. So
I've got half the stack, but twice the dick sucking ability. So
no no
well, why
no.
why would why would why wouldn't you just make 10 louder? Well, because this one goes to 11. Don't you understand this? This one goes to 11. Ah, Spinal Tap. Thank you, Stormer
Oh
Wrenches.
oh I fucking love Spinal Tap. So um
Hmm.
sex sex farm. So it's been fucking forever since I've seen that movie. So my references to that movie aren't quite what they should be. But yeah, that's a fucking great movie. So
Have you ever seen the movie Lost Highways?
uh
It's
yes.
the David Finch movie. Yeah, David Finch. Fincher,
Yeah.
David Finch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have not, and one of my online friends that's the somebody's hounded me to watch it, and it's not on any of the things that I watch on, and I don't have like a computer, so I got to figure it out. I gotta find the DVD or something because apparently it's a really good movie.
Yeah, I mean it's weird how many movies out there still are not like on digital. So, there's like there's this movie I there's this movie I watched once in like an 80s film class called To Live and Die in LA, and I hadn't seen it in like a long time, and I went to look for it online and found out that it's on Blu-ray only, so I ordered the Blu-ray. So,
Nice.
but
Sometimes what you got to do. I'm a firm believer in physical media. Like I fucking hate buying video games digitally. I hate buying music digitally. I do both of them sometimes out of impatience. Um, but yeah, no, I have a fucking like one of those old school CD books. It's like 4 inches thick, and it's there's like four CDs per page, double sided, and it's basically full. I'm out of room for. I have too many CDs, and that's another thing. Like, it's nice to have them, just like my vinyls and my fucking phonograph and the speakers and the goddamn receiver. All of the thing, all of the things to. It's like, oh man, I'm not in a. I got uh, too many things that are effectively worthless. They're just sentimental, and they're nice to have, you know. But the convenience of digital media is hard to fight against sometimes, is kind of what I'm getting at. Like,
It,
if it weren't an option to just have a Google Play account, fucking purchase the main albums I listen to, which I'm not gonna lie to you, I have bought several albums digitally that I have physically, because I don't carry a fucking Walkman around with me anymore. And when I'm at the gym or uh, running or doing work anywhere in the yard, I've got my fucking phone in my pocket though. So I used to have a Zune, and I refuse Apple products. So I mean, I guess I could do an iPod or something like that. But I had fucking Zune software with thousands of albums on it. Um, Everything I ever listened to. But Zune took a shit, like everything else I ever loved.
wait, you
You
like?
remember Zune?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I remember. Yeah, I remember Zune. So
I had a Zune and I fucking loved it, dude. I had no problems with it.
I still actually have my iPod Classic, believe it or not. So um so
I do believe it.
Static Void goes. I only listen to Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin nowadays. Static, are you and I? Do you and I know each other IRL, and you're just fucking with me? You remind me of someone you remind me of someone I actually know who I'm really good friends with.
There was a
So
point in time when I was, I think it was 17. Yeah, 17 was between freshman and sophomore year. Um, that summer, I spent every weekend basically eating handfuls of psychedelic mushrooms, and I only listened to Floyd, Zeppelin, and Jim Morrison. Basically, only. I mean, for whatever reason, there was such a catalog to go back through and listen to, and I made my own mixes, of course, because that was back when burning your own CDs was, um, the hip thing to do.
oh yeah,
So yeah, like make my own mixes and um, of this, put the songs in different orders and shit like that. And yeah, so I mean, I love all three of those bands and plenty more from that era. But I can't just listen to one thing. I'm a metalhead at heart, and you know, like early 2000s and 90s metal is really where my heart. There's some newer shit that's okay, but
oh
as I mentioned before, I love.
Johnny, how dare you? He says the doors suck. So
Well, I mean, honestly, they kind of do. If you, I mean, they don't, but they kind of do. There's a lot of good there, but you have to just generally speaking, it was like you could almost frame it as a psyop. I've actually seen that theory, the conspiracy floated, because I
what?
don't remember who Jim Morrison was related to somebody. He was the son of somebody.
Oh yeah,
Um,
his dad was an Air Force colonel or something.
right, right.
But hey, my grandfather was in the Air Force too, and I mean, if anyone thinks I'm related to any, government.
Well, no, but I mean, just because like there's multiple ranks, I don't. Again, I'm just saying. I don't want to, like. We don't have to go into it unless you've got more facts than I do off the top of my head. But the whole point is like it was. the conspiracy about Jim Morrison and his music was like a subversion of culture, like the whole leaning into the counterculture at the time and pushing people to get really fucked up and be really degenerate and, you know, show their dick on stage. And I mean, their music like wasn't that revolutionary, realistically speaking. I mean, they didn't come up with fucking quadraphonic, sound like Pink Floyd did. You know what I
No,
mean? They didn't, introduce that in their live shows and whatnot.
no,
So,
they're certainly not my favorite band, which is the Who. So,
oh,
um,
well, well, I can't knock them either. But fuck the Beatles, and yeah, fuck the Beatles. I'm gonna go ahead and say that publicly.
I don't I hate the Beatles, but I do find that they're kind of I find that they're overrated. Uh,
Extremely overrated. That's why I have to push hard the other direction. I don't really hate every single thing they've ever done, but yeah, fuck the Beatles.
I well, you and Ben Shapiro have that in common.
Ah, well, never mind.
To
Retract.
the to the point where Ben Shapiro actually wrote an article on why he hates the Beatles so much. Posted it on Breitbart. This was like a long ass time ago, and I guess like people were like mad at him for it. So, and I tweeted at him and I was like, "Hey, that was actually funny, man." So, and
Yeah.
so uh,
Let's see, we got any other topics, man? I kind of want to. I'm fighting between listening and talking and playing guitar.
no, I mean, you said you wanted to do a stream tonight, and I mean, the Hugbox
Yeah.
is kind of a free for all. So,
Yeah, man. No, I listen. I am always up for a chit chat with you as long as I'm free.
all all I will say is I hope that this week is well. Let me just put it this way: I would love it if we went through just 1 week and there was absolutely nothing in the news that happens. So that would
There's
be
not a single chance that's going to happen. Not until after November 4th.
yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying wishful thinking. So
And even that. Uh, yeah, well, I mean, without anything tragic, because I'll take fake news stories all day. That's fine. Talk some shit, make some things up. But as long as people aren't getting shot in the street and, important things getting burned and or smashed, um, you know, another person being shot by police that can be framed in a way other than a criminal fucking, uh, you know, receiving righteous justice. Then yeah, I'm on board with you.
I'm going to go.
'Cause,
I'm going to go full Frank Castle one of these days if shit doesn't change. So
just don't go full jolly. The world can only handle so many jollies.
well, I mean, I'm Jolly doesn't know this yet. Well, he might, but I've told Jolly that I'm going to hire him as my bodyguard at some point. But
Good
since
luck. He's a pirate, bro. He'll take you for your chair as soon as you got your back turned, man.
well,
Jeez.
I mean, yeah, I
Got the
mean,
Jolly Rogers as his fucking like logo. Come on. It's a pirate. They fly those flags for a reason, man.
or he'll.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I mean, in all honesty, I would rather die at the hands of Jolly rather than Antifa because I feel like if the left got their hands on me, I would die a slow, painful death. As like an example, they'd make an example out of me, but Jolly would show me mercy. So
Jolly would whisper gently into your ear as the life faded from you. They would whisper sweet nothings. It's okay, Sammy. You know I love you, but I need your chair for greater purposes. And you can't be in it. No, I don't know. I have no idea.
No.
I hope he's still listening.
Yeah, I hope he's too. I actually don't think Jolly would want to kill me because he knows that if he did, I would just haunt his ass. So,
Listen, but it might be worth it for the chair, Sammy. I keep trying to tell you, dude. You underestimate the value of that goddamn rolling death machine that you ride around on.
well,
Pirates might see
well, the
pirates who've made an alliance may see the benefit in taking the haunting over the the real world tactical advantage. I don't.
well, the death machine might come in handy. If Antifa comes into the neighborhood. I mean, in all seriousness, if Antifa does try to attack me, I've said this before. I'll take those motherfucker. Even if they manage to kill me, I plan on taking a few of them with me. So, but
Well, on that note, I'm not even
wow,
gonna play guitar, man. I'm tired as fuck. I need to go to bed.
wow, that was a super positive note to end the show on. So, but
No, we don't have to end it there. Um, oh, hey.
I would. I, I guess on a more positive note, how are your torties doing?
Well, they are growing. And they still got their little eyes closed, but all five are still alive. And there's only Mama's a tortie, first generation baby. There's a tortie, and then she's got two in her new litter, and then two gray, and then one solid. It appears to be solid black, but they're teeny tiny, dude. Their paws are like the size of your fucking thumbnail. Um, but she's a good mama. I swear, she's like a Egyptian royalty cat. Reborn. She's so weird, but in like the coolest ways. Um, yeah, no, she's they seem to be doing great. I yeah, I mean they're adorable little baby kittens. I can't wait for them to get a little older so that I can, because she's not at all picky or worried about me or any of us handling them, but she's still very like protected because again they don't even have their fucking eyes open, but I can pick them up and check them out and stuff, and she's not freaking out. In fact, when they were all first born, she came and found me and lured me to them, and was picking her older babies up who are about a month or two old now. Well, older than that, maybe 2-3 months old. Picking them up by their neck. They're like too big to be carrying like a kitten, but she was like, "Come, come look at the new babies. It's cute, man." Cats are. I love dogs too, as we've talked about, but cats are so much, both male and female, are so much more like women than dogs are. Dogs, I think most people that I've encountered like dogs because they're just quote unquote man's best friend. You come home and no matter what, they're going to be the same basically every time and be over the moon to fucking see you. And cats, like women, are not guaranteed to be happy to see you. You have to put in some work, and you have to understand that they're all different. There's little quirks. You know, the little bullet points that I've always used is like ignore them if you want their attention. Be mean to them if you want them to be nice to you. Um, yeah, nagging, kind of the kindergarten type of treating women. But it's like Meet the Fockers is or was it Robert De Niro
Yeah,
did it in his Mr. Fokker interpretation of Jinxie Cat, the way he described Jinxie Cat. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. It's like I absolutely love dogs, not all dogs, and I absolutely love cats, but not all cats. So, you know, they're different creatures. They're all different, and people tend to look at animals like I don't know. They don't look at them the same. They don't look at them really like they're a living thing. Maybe like they're living, but not so much like they're sentient. Like they have thoughts and feelings, and could be different from a cutout that they have in their mind or that they've been told about a certain animal. You know what I mean? Like you see it all the time. Like those cute odd friend videos you'll see on your YouTube feed or Twitter feed, like I found from the dodo and shit of bears being friends with a fucking puppy dog, or weird shit like that. There's
Yeah.
norms get broken all the time in that regard, and it's just more proof that, like, yeah, instincts obviously exist. Don't go walking up to a bear and think it's gonna give you a hug, but there's also people that raise them, and it's a long-winded way of saying that animal lives matter. Most of them, unless they're fucking your shit up, then or you need to eat them.
I've always said animal lives matter, but people's lives matter more. So for the most part, for the most part.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, if you had to choose, yeah, for sure. If you had to choose between, well, we got to take this pig or Sammy's got to go. Like, oh, well, take the pig, motherfucker. Sammy contributes more than bacon to the world. So yeah, there's a uh, there's a calculation there, I guess, because some people aren't worth fucking bacon. You know what I mean? And you can't eat a person, so some of them just need to go.
Well, I mean,
In Minecraft.
You can eat people, but should you?
No, definitely
No.
not, because that's how you get like fucking degenerative brain diseases and shit, and how you like accelerate inbred type shit, like within a generation. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Then again, yeah, but then again, Hannibal Lecter was also, a, a doctor with a PhD, and yes, I know.
And also a character in the movie, right?
And yes, I know that that's fiction, obviously, but what an interesting premise. So, I'm adding right though. I know it's getting late, and you've got to get to bed. I've got to get to bed. So,
I need my leftover Mexican food. Then I'm gonna go to bed. But
you're gonna have leftover over Mexican, huh?
That's what I said.
I could make a joke that you had Mexican. I'm not gonna go there.
It would be you would be no. Listen, you would be right on point. If you could see me, I would be touching my nose right now.
So,
but I don't like to brag. So, anyway, good night, chat. Good night, Sammy. Thanks for firing the stream up just to talk shit with me. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, dude. Anytime. Thanks for watching, chat, and I always appreciate when you guys tune in. Thanks to Johnny, Allen, E Scorpio, Raybo, Static Void, all the regulars. So
find me Shovel Point. I need someone to find me and bring me Shovel Point.
So,
but yeah, God bless you all. God bless you, Sammy, and good night. Thank you.
Good night, folks, and I'll see you on the next Whitfield Report.